From a banned episode most people never got to see to a chilling theory about what's buried beneath Peppa's house, today we're breaking down 10 hidden things you didn't notice in Peppa Pig. But first, if you love Peppa, drop a muddy puddle emoji. And if you're a fan of the Pig family, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Number 1. Why was Peppa Pig actually banned from TV? Yes, an entire episode of Peppa Pig got pulled off the air. The episode, called Mr. Skinny Legs, seems harmless enough at first. Peppa meets a spider, feels scared, and eventually learns not to fear it, even letting it crawl on her after her dad reassures her it's friendly. Here's the problem. Australia is home to some of the most dangerous spiders on the planet, including the Sydney funnel web, whose fangs are strong enough to pierce through fingernails and soft shoes. Its venom is so potent that without an anti-venom, a bite can be fatal in as little as 15 minutes. The episode actually aired twice in Australia before officials pulled it entirely, worried it might encourage kids to handle real spiders. Strangely enough, it was still allowed to air in the UK, presumably because British spiders barely register as a threat by comparison. Number 2. 2 creepy facts hiding behind Peppa Pig's cute exterior. Here's something most fans never clocked. There's a fan theory that Candy Cat is secretly a 40-year-old man mentally trapped inside the body of a 7-year-old girl, a detail that's become a running joke across the fandom for how unsettling it sounds once you actually picture it. And then there's Grandpa Pig's backstory. According to fan lore, he died while gardening, when his own treehouse collapsed and crushed him. A surprisingly dark fate for a character who still appears cheerfully alive in every episode. Number 3. Is George secretly an adopted guinea pig? Did you notice this pattern? Nearly every character in Peppa Pig follows a strict alliterative naming rule tied to their species. Danny Dog, Susie Sheep, Freddy Fox, Rebecca Rabbit. But George, Peppa's little brother, breaks that pattern completely, since George doesn't obviously connect to pig at all. Unless he isn't a pig. What if George is actually a guinea pig? The word guinea pig starts with the same G sound, fitting the naming convention perfectly. And visually, baby hairless guinea pigs look remarkably similar to piglets. Both hairless, both pink-skinned, easy to mix up at a glance. Hairless guinea pigs are even nicknamed skinny pigs, which could explain why nobody in the show has ever questioned his true identity. Some point to the episode where Mummy Pig is shown pregnant with George as proof this can't be true. But what if that baby didn't survive, and George was quietly adopted afterward to ease the family's grief? Peppa was still a toddler with no clear memories at the time, making it easy for her to simply accept George as her brother without question. Number 4. 5 unsettling glitches hidden in Peppa Pig's animation. Here are 5 details that are much creepier once you actually notice them. First, the pig family is almost always shown from the side, and in one episode where Peppa looks into a mirror, you can briefly spot 2 eyes on the far side of her face too, suggesting she may actually have 4 eyes total. Second, in an episode where Peppa and Mummy Pig do laundry, the fridge magnets are arranged one way at the start, form a perfect circle by the time they finish, and then rearrange again the moment Daddy Pig walks through the door. Third, in the lost keys, Daddy Pig drops his keys into a storm drain and Miss Rabbit tosses a stone in, producing a clear splash that proves there's water inside. Yet when Mr. Bull lowers a crane to retrieve them, the drain is shown completely dry. Fourth, in the shadow-themed episode, Elephant explicitly states that where there's light, there's a shadow. Yet when Daddy Pig calls the kids home under a clearly lit room, he casts no shadow on the floor at all. And fifth, in the school project episode, a kitchen faucet is clearly visible next to a window. But in a later scene where the family builds a cardboard castle in that same kitchen, the faucet has completely vanished. Number 5. 3 facts that prove Madame Gazelle is a vampire. In the Halloween-themed episode, Madame Gazelle tells Susie, who's dressed as a vampire, that the costume reminds her of the old country.
That brings back memories of the old country.
And the narrator specifically points out that her reflection is missing from a nearby mirror.
Madame Gazelle doesn't have a reflection in the mirror.
Tying back to the old folklore idea that vampires, lacking souls, cast no reflection. In a separate episode centered on her house, an old tree stands just outside, and when Mr. Bull climbs it to check for wildlife, he finds bats living inside, which Madame Gazelle casually refers to as old friends who remind her of days gone by. And notably, she's the oldest character in the entire series, having personally taught the adult characters back when they themselves were children, meaning she hasn't visibly aged at all while everyone around her has grown up and had kids of their own. Number 6. The disturbing theory behind why Peppa never ages. According to this theory, Peppa spent most of her early life confined to her bed after being diagnosed with a serious illness at just 2 years old, requiring around-the-clock supervision just to survive. As the burden grew, her father allegedly reached a breaking point and made the horrifying decision to keep her permanently confined to her room, away from the rest of the family and the outside world. Years later, the theory claims her parents had another daughter and chose to name her Peppa too, effectively replacing the original in the eyes of the outside world, while the first Peppa remained locked away out of sight. If you search for Peppa Pig house wallpaper online, some fans point to a specific image where, if you zoom in on an upstairs window, there appears to be a figure quietly looking out from the room. Number 7. Is Mrs. Cat secretly having an affair? Did you catch this detail during Grandpa Pig's birthday celebration? The whole family gathers at a clearly romantic restaurant, and Mrs. Cat is seated there too, which wouldn't be strange on its own, especially with Mr. and Mrs. Fox dining nearby as a normal couple. But here's the catch. Throughout the show, family members consistently share matching fur or skin tones. The Pig family, the Fox family, Susie Sheep and her mother, Mrs. Cat and her daughter Candy Cat, are both established as having light brown fur, yet the Mr. Cat sitting across from her at this romantic dinner is dark gray, a noticeably different color. If family members are supposed to visually match, then this raises an obvious question. Is that actually her husband at all, or is Mrs. Cat quietly having dinner with someone else entirely? Number 8. Does Peppa Pig secretly take place after the apocalypse? Hear this one out. Nearly every structure in the Peppa Pig universe, homes, supermarkets, amusement parks, even the rabbit family's burrow, sits perched on a mountaintop or hillside, an oddly consistent and inconvenient design choice. In the episode centered on flooding, heavy rain triggers widespread flooding, yet every mountaintop structure remains completely untouched. What if rising sea levels from catastrophic climate change once submerged most of the land, forcing every remaining structure onto higher ground? Add in a theory that a virus wiped out most of humanity, leaving only animals behind to evolve human-level intelligence, clothing, and upright walking, and suddenly 2 recurring human characters stand out: Santa Claus, isolated safely in the Arctic, and the Queen, seemingly untouched by time. Even Miss Rabbit, holding an implausible number of jobs, ticket seller, firefighter, nurse, driver, cashier, starts to make sense under a severe post-apocalyptic labor shortage. Number 9. What's actually buried beneath Peppa's house? Why is Peppa's house always shown standing alone on a steep, isolated hill with no neighboring houses, no roads, just eerie silence surrounding it? According to fans, that hill isn't natural at all. It's a cover-up. A reportedly deleted storyboard once showed a locked basement beneath the house, with strange sounds echoing from it at night. Some fans believe it's simply an old bunker. Others suspect a hidden lab, or possibly the place where a forgotten sibling was once kept out of sight. But the darkest version of the theory suggests the entire hill is built over an old burial ground, with Peppa's family living directly above it to permanently bury whatever happened there. Number 10. Does George actually exist at all? On the surface, Peppa's family has 4 members, but according to this theory, George was never really there to begin with. The clearest clue is his wardrobe. Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, and Peppa all change outfits throughout the show, while George wears the exact same blue onesie in literally every single appearance, more like a fixed symbol than an actual growing child. The Snowy Mountain episode adds more fuel to the theory. When the family boards a cable car up the mountain, Daddy Pig rides alone in one car, while Mummy Pig squeezes into another with both kids, despite it being far more logical to split the children evenly between 2 adults. That unusual arrangement suggests Mummy Pig may have only ever really been traveling with Peppa. The show has depicted Peppa as a baby, and even shown Susie Sheep's childhood, but has never once shown George as an actual infant. There are scenes of Mummy Pig pregnant with George, but what if that pregnancy never resulted in a living child, and George exists only as something the family imagines together to soften an unspoken loss? And that's it! Which one messed with your head the most? A theory or a tiny detail? Let me know in the comments. If you want the next part, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed, because we're uncovering even more secrets next time.